Fortnite's current update changed the way a lot of people should think about their settings, and if you are still using the same setup you copied months ago, you might be leaving real performance on the table. I'm gonna cover everything: launcher, in-game, Nvidia control panel, and Windows. Let's get right into it. First things first, open up Epic Games Launcher, click your profile icon, and head over to settings. Turn off minimize the system tray, uncheck launch when my computer starts, and turn off all the desktop notifications. Then leave the command line arguments blank for now. We will come back to that in a second. Then go to your library, click the three dots on Fortnite, click options, uncheck high resolution textures. This is the only thing you need to change here. Hit apply and then launch the game. Once you are in, go to your settings and make sure that your rendering mode is set to performance mode. Apply it and then restart if Fortnite asks you to. This is the baseline that we're gonna test from. Now, before we touch anything else, I wanna explain the different rendering modes because this is where most people go wrong by just copying whatever their favorite streamer uses without understanding why. Fortnite has currently three options: performance mode, which is based on DirectX 12, unless you're on an older system, then it switches to DirectX 11. And then you got DirectX 12, which has ray tracing and all the cool features. And then the old one, legacy performance mode, which is the older DirectX 11, and that Epic still has available, but it's officially marked as deprecated. That means basically they're not developing anymore. And here's what we found when we tested with CapFrame X on our test system. Legacy performance mode gave us lower PC latency and better average FPS. DirectX 12 performance mode had more consistent frame pacing and felt smoother. And when I say PC latency, I'm talking about the PC delay measured by something called %mon, not your ping and not the entire mouse to monitor chain. So which one should you choose? If you want the lowest input lag and the highest average FPS on your system, use legacy performance mode. If your game feels choppy and inconsistent, use DirectX 12 performance. Test both and do not just copy someone else. Now, if you want to test legacy performance mode, which is DirectX 11, here's how to do it. First, close your game, go back to your Epic Games Launcher settings, and find the command line arguments box, check it, and you're going to type this exactly: -D3D11. That forces legacy performance mode, and if you want to go back to normal performance mode, just delete it and leave the box blank. One important thing to know about DirectX 12, some people crash whenever this update dropped, which meant that DirectX 12 was unstable on their system, and there's a specific reason for that. DirectX 12 uses your CPU more efficiently and pushes it a little bit harder than DirectX 11 does. So if your system crashes on DirectX 12, that is actually your PC telling you something is unstable, whether that is a CPU overclock, memory that is not fully stable, or something else underneath the service. So you can go back to DirectX 11 to stop the crashing, and that is fine, but do not ignore it. That crash is a symptom of something that exists, whether DirectX 12 surfaces it or not. We see this regularly on client systems, and we address the root cause rather than just switching modes. Just something to be aware of. And if you are on AMD, test DirectX 12 performance first. This is going to be better in our testing, and across a lot of client systems, AMD setups just feel more consistent on DirectX 12 performance than the older DirectX 11 legacy path, even if the measured latency number is slightly higher. Now, relaunch the game after you've set up DirectX 11, or if you're going to stick with DirectX 12. Then once you're in Fortnite, go back to settings, and then for window mode, for the lowest latency competitive setup, always use full screen. Borderless and windowed modes have improved on Windows 11, but full screen is still like the safest option recommendation when you care about input delay. Now, stretch resolution is something I want to cover. If you like how it looks, that is personal preference and completely fine. But if you are doing it strictly for performance on a modern graphics card, it is generally not necessary on a CPU bound game like Fortnite. Run native, and if you are on a 1440p monitor and your graphics card is struggling, then you could try lowering your 3D resolution to around 80 to 70% before doing anything any more drastic. That keeps your monitor output native and avoids relying on scaling. Then scroll up and just make sure that VSync is off, and then frame rate limit, let's cover that. Uncapped can give you lower input lag when your PC has enough headroom. The problem is the variability. Your FPS might be 400 early game and 200 in end game, and that shift in feel is genuinely hard to adapt to mid game. The reason most pros cap at 240 is simple. Endgame in Fortnite destroys frames, and they would rather play the entire match at a consistent 240 than swing between 360 and 200. For competitive play, cap at the highest FPS you can actually hold stable through endgame. If you play casually and want the fastest possible response, play uncapped. 3D resolution, again, leave this at 100 unless, again, your GPU is struggling at your current resolution. View distance doesn't really affect performance. You could do medium or near, and then texture is low and mesh is also also low. Show FPS, obviously on. Quick note though, because of the logging feature of show FPS, it does reduce your performance by 20 FPS. Not that big of a deal, but it is something to consider. And everything else when it comes to latency markers and report performance stats, turn that off, as well as GPU crash debugging. Now, Nvidia reflex low latency, you want to set this to on. And simple version of what this does, when your GPU gets maxed out, it starts building a queue of frames waiting to be shown. That queue adds delay between your input and what you see on screen. Reflex prevents that queue from building up. On lower end graphics cards especially, this is a significant improvement. Set it to on. You can test on plus boost if your GPU clocks are dropping or your system is CPU bound, but start with on because boost does not help every setup and can increase power drop. Then go to the gear icon on top, which is game settings, and scroll down. Turn off Nvidia highlights and turn off peripheral lighting. And record replays, turn that off if you do not use them. It pulls real-time performance away from the game while you are playing. And then visualize sound effects, I would recommend obviously leaving that on. It's very important for competitive play. Now we're all done with the Fortnite settings. Let's go ahead and optimize our windows. Now for Nvidia control panel, go ahead and open that up. Then go to adjust image settings with preview and just select use the advanced 3D image settings and hit apply. Then go to manage 3D settings and then under program settings, click that and then just select Fortnite out of the drop down menu. If you don't see it like me, you're gonna click add and then just choose Fortnite right here and then press add selected program. Then scroll down. You want to set power management mode to prefer maximum performance, and then preferred refresh rate, highest available, and then shader cache size, you can set this to unlimited, and low latency mode, you can leave this on. In Fortnite, reflex is handling low latency and is more effective than the driver level setting, so the control panel mainly is for games that do not support reflex. Then scroll down and threaded optimization, just ensure that is set to auto, and then vertical sync, obviously turn that off unless you use G-Sync. Then go to change resolution, and you want to make sure that you're using the Nvidia color settings and then output dynamic range set to full. For most PC monitors, this makes your colors look significantly better and costs you absolutely nothing. And do it on both monitors if you have two monitors. Now, if you are on AMD, open up AMD software, go to the overlay and performance settings and disable everything in there that you are not actively using. The AMD overlay, the performance monitoring, the in-game toolbar, all of it adds overhead you do not need while gaming. So just disable it and close it out. Now, drivers. As of right now, the latest Nvidia and AMD drivers are perfectly fine. Just make sure you are up to date, and then also check your network driver adapter. So to do that, just go to device manager on your PC by searching that up in the Windows search, and you want to expand network adapters, double click your Ethernet or Wi-Fi, click driver, and you want to make sure it's on the latest version or a recent version. Now, if it's not on the latest version, you want to know what adapter you have. It could be Intel, Realtek, AMD, or something else. Then go to the driver page that the manufacturer has and then download the newest version if it's there, or you can check your motherboard support page. Don't rely on Windows telling you the best driver is already installed. It is often wrong. An outdated network driver can contribute to packet loss, disconnects, or inconsistent latency. And if your ping in Fortnite is consistently higher than it should be, even on a fast connection, the issue might be routing. So think of it like this. Imagine sending a package to someone across town, and instead of going directly there, it gets routed through a warehouse 2 cities away before it arrives. Your package is fine, their address is fine, the path it took just added unnecessary time. That is what bad routing does to your connection. Your speed is fine, but the path your data takes to the Fortnite server is inefficient. If that sounds like your situation, exit lag is worth testing. Link is going to be in the description if you want to test it out. It won't help everyone, but if the routing is actually a problem, it can make a real difference. Test it and only keep it if your ping or packet loss actually improves. Let's go to Windows. So for game mode in settings, go to gaming and then game mode. Make sure this is on. On Windows 11, this prioritizes your game and reduces background interruptions. Generally the right setting on modern hardware. Then go back to gaming, go to game bar and turn all the stuff off. Now, for a cleaner setup, you can also disable game bar through registry. It's how you do it on Windows 11. Press Windows key and R, type reg, edit, and then scroll back up, go to H key current user, system, game config store, and set game DVR enabled to 0. Now, hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, you want to test this on versus off. Most modern systems run fine with it, and it changes how Windows handles GPU scheduling. If you notice stutters or crashes after enabling it, test turning it off. So go to settings, system, display, graphics, advanced graphics settings, hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. Turn it on or off through here, and then restart every time you want to test it. All right, now you want to search up power in Windows, power plan, and you want to click choose a power plan or edit a power plan. Go to power options and use high performance or ultimate performance power plan. If you are on a Ryzen 9 with dual CCDs, so a Ryzen 9 9950 X3D or a Ryzen 9 7950 2050 X3D. I would consider leaving it on balanced, given those CPUs have things that need to be done for the scheduling to work properly, so the game uses the first group of cores that has X3D cache. Then you want to go to apps and then startup apps. Disable anything here that you do not need, and it's going to lower your process count. Background apps, Windows 11 removed the global toggle that Windows 10 had. To disable background apps globally, open regedit again, so Windows key and R, type regedit, and go to HKey current user, software, and then Microsoft, and then Windows, and then current version, and find background access applications. You want to find this D word called global user disabled. You want to set this to 1 by double clicking on it and typing 1. Now, if you don't have this, just right click, click new, D word 32-bit value, name it global user disabled, exactly like so, and then set the 1. Go to settings, personalization, colors, turn off transparency effects. It does do something on lower end processors. Now, I want to go over XMP, Expo, DOCP, or AXMP depending on your motherboard. This one's going to be in your BIOS, not Windows, but it is one of the most common things we find disabled on client systems. Intel boards usually call it XMP, modern AMD AM5 boards call it Expo, and then on older AMD DDR4 boards, they may call it DOCP, AXMP, or just XMP depending on the motherboard. Whatever your motherboard calls it, these are memory profiles that tell your motherboard what speed, timings, and voltage your RAM kit is actually rated for. On a lot of gaming PCs, your RAM is running at a slower default speed until you enable this. So restart your PC and go into your BIOS by spamming delete or F2. Then you want to find whichever name applies to your system and enable it. So for me, it's going to be called DOCP, and as you can see, I already have it enabled. Then you just want to go ahead and save and exit after that. So on CPUs without 3D cache or without a lot of L3 cache, like the older Ryzen CPUs and Intel, the FPS difference in Fortnite from this alone can be significant. After enabling it, make sure your system is stable. If you get like crashes or fail to boot up, just turn it off or try a lower speed. And that is everything. Launcher, in-game, drivers, Nvidia and AMD control panel, and Windows is all covered. And here's the honest reality. Everything in this video is the surface layer. Think of it like buying a brand new phone and never updating the software and never cleaning the storage, never configuring it properly. It works, but it is nowhere near what it is actually capable of. A proper optimization goes into every layer underneath. The BIOS, the RAM configuration, the Windows build, and sets up everything the way it should have been from the start. There is a good chance something underneath the surface is holding your PC back right now, and a settings guide cannot really reach it. As Zilly, we have done this on over 10,000 systems. The links are going to be in the description. If you are serious about performance, then go check it out. If this video helped you, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.